Colleen Conley, can you go through some of the route changes that will affect the South End?
Certainly. So starting on October 6th, what you'll see is a change in route number of the current Route 94 will become the Route 74, and that starts in Riverview Park and Ride and crosses the river and then goes up the Woodruff and joins the Transitway. The current trips that are on the Route 94 that go to the RCMP headquarters will be renumbered to the Route 73. So that's a different change coming from Tunney's Pasture right to the headquarters. If you're living west of the Rideau River, a good thing to remember, if you're on a connection route west of the river, those will connect with Tunney's Pasture Station. If you're on a connection route east of the river, those will connect to Line 1 at Herdman Station, except for Route 278, which starts in Riverside South, but then continues over into Barrhaven. That will connect to Tunney's Pasture Station. We will also be renumbering the Route 95 to the Route 75 if you're traveling down to South Barrhaven on that.
And why is that being changed?
What we're doing is trying to renumber the routes for geographical identity. So if you know you're going down into Barrhaven, you're seeing routes with 70s in it. If you're going to routes elsewhere in South Gloucester, you're seeing route numbers with 40s in them. So in the same in Orleans, 20s and 30s, 60s out in Canada. It's just to help customers more easily identify with the service than trying to remember which way they want to go and what number they have to look for.
Okay.
In Findlay Creek, what we're doing is we're consolidating the Route 93 and 293 into the Route 93. So it will still provide you the same connection service through Findlay Creek up to Herdman Station, and all peak period trips on the 93 will be extended to operate to and from Herdman, not just to Greenboro. We're also going to increase the frequency on the 294 to every 15 minutes during the most busiest time period.
How do you think that this is all going to work when come after October the 6th? Are people going to be happier on the buses?
Well, I'm optimistic, and I think so, because even if customers are being faced with a transfer, what we've been able to do is break those connection points that have to go through the downtown core that have been causing our reliability concerns, traveling on more congested roads. So when we keep those bus routes outside of those congested areas, they're just operating in your local communities and with a better reliability. So yes, there is a transfer, but the transfers at the stations, we try to make them as intuitive and as easy as possible with great frequency on the train and capacity, much smoother ride. The train doesn't get bogged down with congestion. It's on its own track. I'm not having to compete with anyone else. So I'm very optimistic, and I think customers will appreciate these changes.
So the biggest change in the South End would be what, though?
The biggest change in the South End is making the connection to Line 1. So I know customers have had their connection routes direct to downtown or to Gatineau, so they're going to have to make that transfer at those connections at Herdman or at Tunney Station. But I think in the long run, it'll all work out to everybody's benefit.
Colleen, thank you so much.
Thank you.